Hello and welcome to the Namork YouTube channel. In today's video I'll be making another character from my fantasy world building project, Heroes of the Ravaged Gardens. This character is the Knightess Valeria Rossa and her dog companion. I made some very basic sketches to get an idea of what they should look like, and I started sculpting. As always, I made the armature from armature wire and aluminium foil. I like to have a sort of anatomically correct base layer upon which to build all of the actual details that make up the figure. I impressively managed to lose all of the footage of sculpting that, but here's what it ended up like. I make the armor panels by putting a string of clay where all the edges would be and cutting a groove in them. I am also going to want to paint the edges of the panels later, so I make a smaller groove that will help guide the paintbrush. For the piece of chainmail that peeks out around the crotch area, I've used this plastic stamp with the chainmail pattern. It actually looks pretty good if you use enough pressure, which I didn't. Working my way up, I made these things, the folds. Although this armor isn't a perfect match with any real historical armor, I will try to refer to the real world armor names whenever I can, like these things, the tassets. After making tedious small details like this, I always like to bake the figure right away, and in the meantime I also whip together the base for the dog. Next I finished up the edges of the leg armor before moving on to the knee pads, or pollines in knight speech. Next up is the breastplate, and along with the hair I think this is the biggest mistake on this sculpture. I made it too big. This upper body to lower body ratio is giving me some Dr. Livesey vibes. I also gave the breastplate this two-part design, which was almost completely useless because I've covered it up mostly with the officer's coat. I also gave the breastplate some cuts and scuff marks before adding the gorget. After finishing off the breastplate, I went back to working on the dog. I tried to get the skin as realistic as possible with lots of folds and wrinkles, and I also attempted to get some kind of fur texture using a stiff brush. I based the design on a Great Dane. Turns out I made it a bit small. Other than that, I'm really happy with how he turned out. For the sword I went with the curvy flamberge style of blade. In universe, these big swords with long handles are considered a separate class of weapon from swords, instead being referred to as serpents. They are too unwieldy and heavy to be useful in battle by an ordinary soldier, but Valeria is a type of knight called a Sacrificatrix. She uses blood magic to temporarily enhance her strength, allowing her to effectively handle a massive blade like this. This blood magic is one of the magic systems I want to incorporate in and expand on during my world building, and I'm going to talk about it more in another video. But for now, I'm just gonna wrap up the sword so we can move on to making the arms. I attached new armature for the arms using a drill and a string of clay acting as glue. I took care to get the length of the armature the same. It can be a bit tricky getting the arms looking correct in an asymmetric pose like this. I like making the arms because you finally get to see a hint of what the finished silhouette of the figure is going to look like. This arm design was pretty easy to sculpt, including these elbow parts called cooters. Next up is of course the head. Previously I've sculpted them on sticks, like a lollipop, but I recently realized it's much easier to just sculpt the face on a flat surface, like this. I've struggled to get the faces properly three-dimensional. This one still looks a little derpy, but it's a lot better than what I made before. After baking, it's easy to mount the hardened face on the rest of the head and the neck. I think I got the neck muscles pretty good. The ear is harder to get realistic, but as long as you're close enough, no one will notice. Next I'll want to add some hair, but I'll have to finish the pauldrons and the gorget first, as the hair will drape over those pieces. That's looking pretty good, especially for something that will never be seen under the arming jacket. Speaking of, time to make it. The arming jacket, or really officer's vest or coat, is very obviously inspired by the Japanese Jinbauri officer's vest. I eyeballed the pattern for the garment, but once I had it on the figure I could just add additional sheets of clay and cut it out on the figure. The seam in the clay is where the seam would be on the real garment, so I didn't try to smooth it over. With a piece of rope around the waist and a chest ornament, the coat is ready to go. I would say hands are not as tricky to sculpt as you would assume, especially when you have the excuse that they are hidden inside a gauntlet. My best tips for sculpting a hand is to make sure you have a suitably chunky thumb muscle, and remember the fingers are kind of square with rigid angles. These turned out okay. Now for arguably the biggest letdown of this figure, the hair. I made several attempts trying to get something that looked cool, and I guess in the end my brain just fried, and I assumed this was it. I don't know why all her hair is slicked back behind her ears, I don't know why she looks like she just stepped out of a shower, a lot of things. I do take with me the lesson for my next sculpture to make sure I add enough volume to the hair. And that's something, I guess. But for now, the figure is finished, and we can move on to making the base. I started by cutting out a circle from foam core, peeling off the outer paper layer on one side. I marked out the brick pattern I wanted with a Sharpie, and then I used an X-Acto knife and a blunt pencil to carve deeper grooves in the foam core. I added some rocky texture with a crumbled up aluminium foil ball, and I also gouged some deeper scars in the bricks with an X-Acto knife. And the only thing left to do before painting was glue it to the plywood base. After an initial coat of Mod Podge and black paint, I dry brushed the bricks in increasingly lighter shades of grey. Then I remembered, rocks are not only grey, they are also red and green and orange from moss, all kinds of natural colors. I ended up with a bit too much color, so I brought it back home with a dark wash. And it's done.
Hi doggy.
For this guy I went with a light yellow beige paint job. It was really simple, but it was good practice mixing colors and doing the gradient from the belly to the sides. At first I gave him a bright red color, but he looked way too much like Winnie the Pooh, so I had to tone that down. The tiniest dot of white on the eyes to add some shine really made him come alive. For Valeria I'm going with an off-white armor with dark red trim and a yellow coat with maroon lapels. Hey, I almost forgot, she needs the Arcovistan Cockatrice, the sigil of her employer, on her back. I did that with a selection of fine liners, a brush pen, and I filled it in with regular paint. That's pretty nice. Okay, back to the show. That's it, video's over. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, or if there's anything you didn't like, please leave a comment. I'm always looking to improve both the crafting and the filmmaking. You can look forward to more and better videos in the future. Okay, bye.